Oh, for fuck's sake. Now, I'm sure to many people watching this, that name won't mean anything to them. They'll think it's just a random guy that I've highlighted at the start of this video. But the name Catamese, it holds a dark place on this channel. He's been around for quite a while. I used to league race with him for many years. Many difficult and troubling years. And to say I had a rivalry with this person would be somewhat of an understatement. I hated this person, and to this day I still do. I think I can honestly say that during my time league racing, there wasn't a single driver that genuinely pissed me off as consistently. Maybe. There's a few actually. But in terms of consistently pissing me off and for how long he did it, Catamese is at the top of the list. This is just a brief summary of the shit I had to deal with when racing this person.
What do you mean me?
What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Oh, for the love of God.
Oh, yes, cat.
I don't care, Cat. I'm understeering. I don't care. Suck it up. I'm right behind Cat. That's not Cat. Yeah, it is. Sorry.
You're right, me, Connor.
Sorry.
What happened?
Sorry. I apologise, guys.
So yeah, I wasn't too excited for this one. Qualifying was a bit disappointing. We qualify in P2, 5 tenths behind Catamese, which is a bit of an ego blow. But based on what happens in the race, I have a theory of why he was that far ahead. It's lights out and away we go, and I'm not afraid to admit that my sole purpose this race was making sure that this didn't beat me. I can't say that. It's lights out and away we go, and I'm not ashamed to admit that my sole purpose this race was making sure this guy didn't beat me. We have someone attacking us down our inside in turn 1, but with the help of a better exit and ERS, we managed to pull back into second, and we're just going to burn all our ERS down this straight to catch on the back of Catamese, and you can see it pays off. With the help of Slipstream as well, we're able to rein in Catamese, and he's going to weave to break the Slipstream. That's just a taster of the kind of driving I have to face in this race. That's one of the cleaner racing tactics that Catamese has in his locker, to be honest. A lap later, coming through Sector 2, we see our first mistake from Catamese, almost losing the back end on the exit of No Name Corner, and that's a reassuring sign he's actually feeling the pressure from me. And personally I can relate, because as someone that's league raced with this guy, having him directly behind you during a league race is probably one of the most stressful things you'll ever face in your life. And I know a majority of FTRL will agree with that statement. Coming on to Sector 3, you can see we're still directly on the back of Catamese, but this is where the bullshit starts to happen. You can see he very suspiciously misses his braking point into turn 1, and I quickly realised he just wants DRS down the Camel Straight. So for this occasion, because I wasn't expecting it, we kind of have no choice but to give him the DRS. We're going to try and ease off through El Rouge and up to Radion, and then we're just going to force him off track, because that's what you've got to do with this guy. He's obviously going to go for our inside with the help of DRS. We're going to use ERS, but it's not going to really do much. We're going to leave him just as much room as he needs, and he is going to get by up or inside. But it would appear we're going to have to overtake him very unconventionally at this track. We're going to get a very good run through turn number 9, hit the back of him, go on the inside, up to Brussels. We're going to give him a bump to the outside because he kind of just deserves it, but we do actually lose the back end and he gets back up or inside. But unfortunately, I lose the car on the outside curb, and unfortunately I don't get any damage and give him a lot of damage. Then we give him a weave of celebration. You know, it is unfortunate. These things happen in league racing. It was looking like a very good fight, but yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get any damage, and he got a lot of damage. It's a shame, really. Unfortunately, at the end of lap number 3, Catamese does need to pull into the pit to fix his front wing and make his mandatory pit stop. You know, it's a shame, but these things happen to people like him. We do actually stay out a little longer than planned, mainly because of the content, but also because I knew he would have lost a lot of time with a broken wing. But we get out in front of him in the P3 on lap number 6, solely for the sake of content and nothing to do with his actual driving ability. He does actually catch onto the back of us at the end of lap number 6, come on to lap number 7, and this is where things get violent. So once again, Catamese is going to have DRS on me, and there's not really a lot I can do about that. However, he is not going to have the benefit of my slipstream, because he's just going to cut Radion bumped me out the way, and I think that's how he got pole position. I don't really know why he did this though, because now he's the one under threat. We're going to move to the right hand side and he's violently going to move to the right, and honestly, given our history together, I fully respect that defensive move. I'm not afraid to admit that I've done far worse to other people during league racing, so you know what, fair play Catamies. But at the same time, fuck you, you're a disgusting driver. Now as we get to the closing stages of the race, this is where I start to play his game a bit. As you can see, I'm right on the back of him and could easily go for the move through sector 3. But I don't want to, I want DRS this time. You can see the game of chicken being played. He's basically begging me to pass him and try and get the DRS marker. I'm pretty sure I get it this time round, at least for this straight. And actually with an unplanned loss of traction through the final corner, that actually helps me out quite a bit with staying with his DRS for the next straight. At least it would if he didn't try his old tactic of running incredibly wide. But we are going to play the Saudi game. We're going to try and stay behind him, but at this stage I was actually concerned that P3 was going to catch us given the speed we were going, so I had no choice but to just go ahead and defend for my life basically. Catamies once again cuts the ever-living shit out of Radion, and again I don't really know why he has DRS and Slipstream. We're going to go defensive regardless. He's going to go to our left hand side, and there's not really a lot we can do. I mean, if he needs ERS, DRS, Slipstream and have to cut the track in order to pass me, I'm happy to take that ego boost. The following lap looks like it's going to be a repeat as Catamies goes wide once again at turn 1, but instead we're going to knock the player's game. I'm going to try and force him off track, but he kind of just sits on the outside of turn 1 and gets ahead of us, but before the DRS. The only issue is he got a really good run out of turn 1, so we're going to have to use everything against him in order to pass him, and still he has to cut the track to stay ahead of me. So with ERS, DRS, Slipstream and not cutting the track, we are very slowly catching on to the back of the finished driver. We're going to go to the outside. Thankfully he doesn't actually force us off track, which is surprisingly clean for him, but we don't get the move done annoyingly. However, we are right on the back of him, but we have learnt our lesson from the last time we tried to move around here. We do look at the inside, he goes a little bit defensive, but we're going to stay behind him. There are 2 laps to go and there's a lot of DRS straights to go. All we're going to do now is just harass the back of his car, save our ERS and go for a final attack on the last lap and hopefully come out as champion. At least that was the plan until I just randomly lost the car. I suppose it's appropriate that I switch to this shirt now. That seems fitting. I don't really know how or why I lost the car. I don't know if it's because I hit the inside curb, but regardless, fuck Catamies. To all of our dreams and pieces after that spin, our one saving grace was to go for P2. We're right on the back of P2, we're on the final lap, we have ERS, DRS and Slipstream, and given our pace throughout this race, this should be an easy pass. We're going to go to the outside, let's see what he does. I would just like to say fuck you for the first hit. That was completely unnecessary. And also, fuck you for the second hit. I know it wasn't intentional, but that was just incredibly bad timing. Fuck you. So we come home P3. After that absolute melee that was a battle of Catamies.